Hey Spiller Nation, it's me, Life Spiller. I wanted to talk about, in this video I just want to talk about, our game is being asked too much. And the reason why I asked that is because I think the expectation of developers or game companies is becoming a bit absurd. You know, the way we were treated last generation versus the generation before that versus the generation before that versus now. I feel like everything is changing, and the expectations are increasing, but the product is lowering. I just wanted to do this video in wake of watching a few of people's reaction to Battleborn. And I haven't watched a lot of people's reaction about Battleborn, like other videos as far as besides the PC. But a few things just started bubbling in my head. I already had this topic written down a long time ago, but I was just looking for the right time and right place to bring it up. I think I think gamers are being asked too much because all these developers want our support. They want to, but they want to drop so many games week after week after week after week after week, and all of them want our support. But it's like, are they really taking their time to bring the product out, or are they rushing it so they can meet this deadline because they already went to the boardroom and said, hey, March 23rd, we got to bring this game out? Even though gamers gripe about, and I've done videos about that, about video game being delayed or stuff being pushed back, or products not being finished. Reason why I even included Battleborn, because I'm hearing about the frame rate issue again, just like with Batman. Was it Arkham Knight? The frame rate issue was another issue, and I don't know if they did the outsource thing, but I think in a big way, developers are asking too much. And then the whole patch thing, we never dealt with that as much. Like even with last generation, it happened, but it wasn't like as much. And it's almost, to me, it's like, when I say gamers are being asked too much, it's almost like we're being asked to put up with too much bullshit. Like, they're half-assing it. They're half doing games now. They're not putting out games fully rendered and ready to go, frames or freight frames being at the level that it should be at. So I'm thinking, are gamers just being asked too much? And when I say too much, being asked to put up with too much bullshit. And it's not fair. It's not fair to the guy who works hard week after week after week to have a paycheck being thrown into his account and then pay $65 for a video game that's broken day one. There's other games that you guys can probably think of in the comments section, viewers, subscribers, whoever you are that's watching this video, and are thinking to themselves, damn, you're right, it's ridiculous. We're being asked for a lot of games to be dropped at once and buy them all and then have the same love and appreciation. But I think it's just oversaturation in this generation. I still honestly have only found like a few games that have just sparked my interest. And I think the big thing is this generation has not really been a turn on, but more of a turn off for me. It's been somewhat distracting. We get the one little morsel that, that savoring bite that's really, really good. And you're like, oh my God, this is so freaking good. And that's it. And then you got 100 games that get released and they're just garbage. So I think we are being asked too much by these developers with the oversaturation of too many games, and games being broken, games being not finished, servers going down temporarily for a day or two, and it's not what it used to be. And then the oversaturation of the HD remakes, it's almost like they're trying to compensate for the lack thereof of quality games. So they're trying to give you the familiar, and then sequels. It's like they don't want to take the chance like these indie developers. I think that's why there's just such a large community that's been built around the indie community, because you know why? It's a new IP. It's a new opportunity. And most of these indie developers, you don't see a Braid 2. You see that developer go and create a new game. You know, they don't go and make a whatever Shadow Complex. Shadow Complex 2 never came out. I mean, not that it wouldn't have been bad to do that, but you don't see a lot of sequels. You see Guacamelee. You don't see Guacamelee 2. They move on to the next thing. So that itself is not, it's not as entertaining as it used to be. You know, having 3-4 parts of the same game or the same series running. You know, I think it's just so weird, the things that we're being expected, or what's being expected out of us as gamers. And as we've always discussed, we have a voice and we can take a stand. Just like the whole DRM thing, and that's why I even came up with the video digital versus physical, because Xbox knew what the fuck they were doing, and they was trying to manipulate us into a situation of just going straight digital and having to be connected at all times in order to be able to play your video games that you paid for. I feel like once I pay for a video game, it's mine. You know, I get the whole copyright issue and all that, and legal rights and all that other bullshit type stuff, but you know, at the end of the day, nobody cares about DRM. Nobody really cares about all that shit. All we want to be able to do is play our video game, load it up, have fun with it. But I find myself being torn with some of these video games because it's sequel after sequel. Indie games seem to be far more better than a lot of these AAA games. Let's be honest. We had a game of the year that was an indie title with Journey, Walking Dead. I mean, those are not AAA titles. And then the oversaturation of all these games from Steam for your PC, and then you got Xbox, and you got Microsoft or PlayStation, and then you just got all these games just being dropped at one time. And then really, if you just shake things up and see what's actually left over, you only get about 2 games that are actually of quality. And then I just look at sales. Sales are not always in the favor of new IPs. So it's just, I don't know. It's so many directions with what it is expected out of us. So tell me what you think. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think as a gamer that is expected out of you that you think is crazy or absurd or leaves you a little bit miffed. Other than that, I'm Lightspiller79.